Hello everybody, Simon Van Quig here, and today I have been buying collections. As you guys can see, I had 3 appointments today, and I bought a various number of things from different people. One gentleman just had a 114 karat ring that I purchased. Always happy to be buying scrap metal there. Even when gold is high, it just hit $3,200 today. $3,300. So I paid him still very strongly for that, and he was happy and I was happy, and we'll go on our ways. Even with this kind of fluctuating market, it's always still nice to be buying collections, always buying commodity items here. A majority of these collections were 90% silver. Got them kind of divvied up in bins here. Halves, we got 90% Kennedy halves. There was a lot of that. I know in the bigger collection, about I would say over 60 or 70% of the value was in the 90% silver there. We got some Benjamin halves here, and of course at the bottom we have some Walking Liberty halves here as well. And I'm just going to kind of peruse through these. Nothing special. I checked them for better dates. There were some 20s in here. 28 S might be a little tougher in that grade. I believe I have it open here. And I did find one that was a little nicer as well. The 28S might be worth holding on to or setting aside. It's probably about a fine. Nothing too crazy. But this 34S I thought was about extra fine. And, this is 34S is probably 35 or 40 bucks in wholesale. And basically what I like to do with that stuff is basically you're cherry picking equity to build your collection or to build value as a dealer. And I might set these aside, and when I have 4 or 5 nicer, more expensive halves, I'll set them on eBay and just let them go, and people will be able to bid on those there. You get some standing Liberty quarters. These are all the dateless ones, but I generally just throw them all together and just ask a solid times face value on that. My only type 1 here, it's a 17D, and of course the type 1 is the no stars underneath. And then there was a few here with full or partial dates. I put the 28S on top. Too bad it is not some of those other ones. Estimates in the 20s are worth quite a bit, and those were always nice to get some of those. Also, a good chunk of it is in his dollars. There was a lot of 21s here, and that is going to be most common when you see collections like this. You have going to be a lot of 21s and a lot of piece dollars, so those are always happy to buy those. I always buy and sell them at a good rate if you guys are interested. And we got a few pre-21 Morgans here, various condition. This one here on the right is probably about an AU, but it has been cleaned or just not stored properly, and that does hurt the value. So, I'll be selling that pretty inexpensively, as well as the circulated pre-21s always sell pretty fast as well. Was a couple of nicer. This is probably like the nicest Unk one. The face is actually very clean on the cheek. Not a ton of chatter there. Back, the reverse is quite nice as well, just some environmental toning or something like that. And then we have Brian, numismatic stacker, will want to look at this one, I'm sure. Get a good look at it for him on the front and the back. This is a 78 Philly. This is the 7-tail feather, I believe. And it's the reverse of 78 because it has the straight feathers here. So that's the easiest way for me to tell, is it has the straight feathers, and then we'll compare it to the not 78. So the feathers there, you can see how they are angled up more towards the olive branch. So that's how you can tell which type reverse it is. Some other 90%, there's a lot of dimes, a lot of quarters, and then, I probably had a couple tubes of halves as well. A lot of, wheat cents. These are great commodity items. You know, I sell them for 5 cents a piece basically, and people pretty quickly pick those up. A lot of 35% war nickels, as well as 40% half dollars there. Basically, I just save those, and those get shipped. You guys know me. Got some more interesting things here. We got some Indian head cents. Not crazy. I went through them. There was one 64 here, but it is totally trash. So this is basically, you know, I wouldn't even do this as a whole filler. That looks like fire damage on there or some kind of weird environmental. But, you know, that was the only like slightly better one in there. A couple of barber coins, 14 and 16. Very common dates there. Got a pair of seeded dimes. The 76 is a Carson City, so I paid him up a little bit. It does have some damage on it, which is unfortunate, but it's cheap enough, and someone will enjoy that. Got a 82 Philly dime as well. That has some nice details on that. Always nice to have those in stock for people that need them. For their typesets, got a couple of, got a shield nickel here. Get the camera to focus. Really likes those dollars. 66, and I don't even think I was able to get a date off of this. I could use nick a date, I'm sure. And yeah, it's not going to go. But I thought it was like an 83, which is the last year. Not anything more valuable there, especially in that condition. We got 157 Flying Eagle cent, kind of low grade, probably a good, honestly, in this condition. Or an AG. This was an unfortunate find here. Is you might say, wow, that's a really nice 1883, and it's with the cents, so that's the more expensive one. But the problem is, again, we'll see if my camera will focus, is there is, the way that he stored this was in PVC flips. Do not use PVC flips, people. So you can see that green there around the rim is basically damage from the PVC, and I'm just going to sell this with letting people know, but this will be a good hole filler for somebody. But the problem is that PVC is damaged, so that is a tough one there. And he was hoping for more on that coin, just because it is really nice. But once I pointed it out, he was able to kind of understand where I was coming from. Got a nice seeded half dollar here, 56. Oh, not anything crazy better date there, but it's always nice to have these in stock for people. People are always looking affordable type coins for their sets, and this was probably like the most interesting thing in his collection. He did have some other things that he did not sell in this kind of big lot, but this is a 47.0, and someone turned it into a pin. So that is something that's just kind of generally cool. I like to hold on to stuff like this just because, you know, people don't make stuff like this anymore. You know, my guess is it probably is contemporary, or it was turn of the century or something like that. But very cool there. You know, always nice to pick up things from the community here in Minnesota, in my local area, and be able to keep the money local. People are typically really more comfortable working with people in the area. So if you guys are looking for appraisals in the Minnesota area, I'm just west of the Twin Cities, please reach out to me. All my information is in the details below the video. Feel free to reach out to me if you guys have questions or things like that as well. But we'll wrap up this portion and we'll get to the giveaway. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you in a second. All right, everybody, so let's dive into that giveaway. For today, we're doing the 51 and 50 proofs, 1 cent coins. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to be entered to win them. We do giveaways every single video. And remember to check out some coins that I have for sale. You can see them in my website here. It is linked in the description of each of the videos here. Check me out on Instagram. Lots of fun behind-the-scenes content going on there. eBay, lots of items going up for sale every Friday, so keep your eyes peeled there, guys. And let's get into that giveaway. 42 comments. Thank you very much. All right, Philip, you are the winner here of these 2 proof cents. And for the next video, here we will be doing this 99 proof 70 cameo dime. So thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye now.